What is going on, Jet fans? I am Matt O'Leary back with another video, and in today's video we will be breaking down one of Joe Douglas's favorite offensive linemen from the NFL according to the latest leaks from the Senior Bowl, having an absolutely stellar day at the Senior Bowl, and that player is Taliese Fuaga. So, to no one's surprise, the New York Jets are in desperate need of offensive line help, right? Like, the Jets more than likely will have two new starting tackles, potentially another starting guard. There's a lot that could be going on with this offensive line, which was ranked one of the worst offensive lines in football last season. And let's be honest here, as I said, they need a lot of help at the position, but apparently, according to a beat reporter, Rich Cimini, who covers the New York Jets for ESPN, he thinks that Joe Douglas, or he is reporting that Joe Douglas has loved Taliese Fuaga for a long time. Here's the tweet. Apple of his eye, Jets GM Joe Douglas has an affinity for Oregon State tackle Taliese Fuaga, according to buzz in scouting circles. Has been eyeing him for months, I'm told. Fuaga is attending the Senior Bowl this week. Now, I like to hear this. Why? Because I am a big fan of Taliese Fuaga. I think he would be a home run pick for the New York Jets at pick number 10. The debate really then goes to, in my opinion, are you team Olu or Taliese Fuaga? And they're very different. Fuaga is a mauler in the run game. He is much more physical, where Olu could use some work in the run game. He's very steady in pass protection, and he's played left tackle, where Fuaga has pretty much exclusively been a right tackle. Fuaga gets a lot of comparisons to Elijah Vera Tucker, as does Troy Fontenot, as someone who is like, just a mauler, someone more so Fontenot than Fuaga, who would have to maybe, or not have to, but could play guard or tackle and play both at a high level. To me, Fuaga, with how he measured in at the Senior Bowl, that screams that is more than capable for tackle. I think there's a debate on whether it would be someone who could just play on the left side, or if he is someone who can play on the right side of an offensive line. But I think at an absolute minimum, he's a stud right tackle, and I would be thrilled if the New York Jets made that pick. I don't know. I've said this before. I don't know if I would take him over Fashanu, but if both guys are off the board and the New York Jets pick Taliese Fuaga at pick number 10, I don't think you'd see much complaints from me. Now, some would be like, how do you take the third tackle and not take Brock Bowers, or how do you not take the wide receiver, or, you have your pick of the litter there. And I get that. I really do. I'm not necessarily saying that those people are wrong. I think you could have that opinion and, make a pretty good case for taking Brock Bowers or taking a wide receiver. But if things go the way that I think they do within the next month or so with free agency, I still think the Jets are going to go into the draft with a massive need on the offensive line. And I personally, it depends on what you are, but I personally am more than comfortable with Fuaga being picked at 10. Some aren't. Some think that's too high for him. He's not even the third best tackle. Some like Latham better. I don't. I think Fuaga and Fashanu are closer than some people think. I think there's not as much of a gap. To me, it's Joe Alt, clear-cut number 1 tackle. I think his floor is going at pick number 7. And after that, I would say it's between Fashanu and Fuaga, but I would, again, be more than thrilled. In practice today, you saw Taliese Fuaga going up against Luaitu Leitu from UCLA. That was must watch earlier today. The clips coming out of that were great in the one-on-one battles. I love seeing these at the Senior Bowl, but all the reports coming out is that Fuaga held his own. Fuaga did a really nice job today. He was someone who stood out in a positive light in the national practice. You also had Roman Wilson as someone who stands out as a mid-round receiver that I like a lot out of Michigan. But Fuaga, to me, was the main story, especially for Jet fans, with one, just watching him and watching him play well, and then you get the bombshell report from our guy Rich Cimini. If you're unsure, this is the numbers that he put up this past year in 2023. starting at right tackle for Oregon State. 12 pressures, no sacks, 2 hits, no sacks given up at any point during his college career. He's been starting for the last 2 seasons in 2022 and 23. I think he's improved tremendously over the last 2 years as a pass protector. I think we've seen, the natural progress there in a positive way. He was always really good in the run game, but the pass protection I think is coming along, and that's not enough to defer me or scare me off from taking him. I think if he's there for the Jets, I would be all over it. So I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this report from Rich Cimini? What do you think about Taliese Fuaga? And was there anyone else to you who stood out today that you think the New York Jets should be targeting? Sound off on all things Senior Bowl down below in the comments. I am Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you next time.